Okay, everyone, welcome back to the At the Bar podcast. I am, of course, your host, Alex Parkinson, or one of your hosts. My co-host, Harry, has been on holiday for the past couple of weeks, which is why you got his short little blog snippet last week instead of a full-length episode. But today, you're back to just me, actually. Me and Harry, I think, will probably be back together next week. But yeah, today's episode marks our first ever guest on the At the Bar podcast, which we are super excited about. As some of you know, I think we announced it. It's Mitch Adams. For those of you who don't know who Mitch Adams is, he is a CrossFit regionals athlete, but also a CrossFit affiliate owner. And in today's episode, he's going to talk to you a little bit about how CrossFit is used as a training program for the general population. But not only that, he's also going to talk a little bit about his competitive background. He has now qualified for regionals 5 years in a row. He was the fittest in the UK the past 2 years. He's come second in Europe this year, having started out way back in 2012. And like I said, he now owns a CrossFit affiliate, CrossFit Wolverhampton. He will be travelling to the first Europe Central Regional in Berlin in May this year, which is very exciting because he has scored incredibly well in this year's instalment of the CrossFit Open, which, as you guys know, I took part in. This year marks probably his best chance, I would say, of getting to the CrossFit Games in Madison, Wisconsin in the summer, all being well. But I'll let him sort of do the talking and you guys can find out a little bit more about Mitch, who he is, what CrossFit is to him, and what CrossFit is in general. I know I've spoken about it before, but this guy is someone who has been practicing it for 6 years now. So his knowledge base is incredible. Enjoy the show, guys. Cool. So, who is CrossFit for?
In a one-word answer, everyone.
Yeah.
I think it appeals to a lot of different people with a lot of different goals. From elite athletes who want to get fit for their sport, to the sedentary person who's left school at 16 and not trained, not done any exercise for 20 years, who just wants to stop themselves.
Yeah.
Dying early, dying too young.
Cool.
So for everybody, it's got a place. There's a place for it for everybody.
So it's inclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And what's your opinion on it as a training methodology? Obviously, like, you own this place, so you must subscribe to it. But what's your opinion on it?
I think it's the perfect training methodology for the general population, in the sense that it's not just trying to achieve one thing. We want people to be able to run. We want people to be able to be flexible and move their body. We want people to be strong. We want people to tackle obesity. We want people to be sort of fit and healthy in as many departments as possible, which is perfect for the general population who haven't got a specific tied down goal. Having said that, it's also brilliant for improving overall fitness and elite fitness for athletes of sports. So at our gym here, we have footballers, we have pro boxers, as well as the average sort of Joe, who's not trained before, who just wants to get fit and healthy. Yeah.
Cool. So this is a question from one of our listeners, Hassan, and he just wants to know what advice you'd give for CrossFitters that are just starting off in a gym.
In a CrossFit gym or in
a CrossFit gym?
In a CrossFit gym, okay. Yeah. So if you're starting CrossFit and it's your first time in an actual CrossFit affiliate, I think you need to come at it with an open mind. Don't expect to be fantastic at it. It will sort of probably knock you down a peg if you're, depending how you look at it. I think trust the coach. So whoever your coach is, you've got to trust them. They should have an idea of exactly how you should be progressing. Just trust what they do. It's a long process to get, what would you say, technically good at CrossFit. So obviously the array of movements that we do, everyone wants to get a muscle up straight away. Okay, be patient with the process and trust the coach's progression on that. Really buy into your coach. I think that's what CrossFit is about, coaching. So trust your coach, basically.
I think that's really important as well. Like, to be able to believe in your coach as well. If you don't see them training, then you're probably not going to have an idea of what their experience is like, and that will inform like your trust in them, I think.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of advice you could give, but I think the number one piece of advice for someone starting CrossFit in their first affiliate for the first time is just trust their coach to begin with, because that's the person that knows more about it than them. Yeah. And they're obviously going to guide them through it, hopefully. Cool.
So sort of building off that, I've got a question from a guy called Paul, and he wants to know how you'd advise someone that's been coming to classes for a consistent period of time and maybe actually wants to sort of start competing and taking things to the next level, so they're, you know, moving beyond the class programming.
Okay, so someone who wants to compete doesn't think they're going to progress anymore with the classes.
Yeah.
I would say, so is he looking for something more personalised to his own?
Yeah, thing? I suppose, yeah, because obviously, like, maybe he's got most of the moves down, but there's things that you need to focus on either yourself, that because obviously your weaknesses, and they might have been exposed in like a scaled competition or something like that. And sort of like, I suppose maybe it's finding online programming, or where do you think about the best route is?
I think if you're looking to sort of personalise your CrossFit training to enable you to compete at a higher level or your first competition, you should have been doing it obviously for a long period of time, a decent period of time. You should know what you're good and know what you're bad at, and not be afraid to sort of focus on those weaknesses. Because that's ultimately, if you've got a weak hole, you're not going to win a CrossFit competition. Okay, so you need to focus on those areas a little bit more, but it's also seeking the right advice to sort of tackle those weaknesses, whether that's online programming, whether that's another coach to help you with your technique on certain things. It can depend.
Is that something that you do here? Like, if a member came to you and said, you know, like, I want to start progressing further beyond the classes, would you set them up for a program or anything? Or would you put them in the right direction?
Generally, our members are, most of them are tied into the class times. So at our gym, what we do, we don't really offer much open gym because of the size of us. It's all class based. Cool. And when we do offer open gym, it's at times when people are normally working in the day. So for that person to then want to do their own thing, it's a little bit difficult. What I will do though, let's say the workout is 21, 15, 9 pull-ups and thrusters, Fran. And one person's got a really good Fran time, but he's got really good pull-ups, but he hasn't got the skill on his chest to bar pull-ups. I'd make him do chest to bar pull-ups.
Okay, so
you personalise it a little bit more. And that's obviously just a slight tweak. I could completely change the pull-ups or something else. He might be a ninja at pull-ups completely, so I might make him do hang power cleans instead of pull-ups. Still sort of a pulling exercise, but focusing more on the barbell side of things, if that's where he's weak at. But that's a problem. I do tend to do that quite a lot actually. So if someone's looking to work on something else, there's an opportunity to put it in, I can do it. So in a class, everyone does the same thing, but they don't have to do the same thing. You can it's still only training. Okay, so you can tailor things for everybody to suit. If that means changing the movement because they're really good at a movement and they haven't really put much focus into another movement, there's no reason why. You can't adjust things.
Sweet. All right. So sort of moving on from there, we're going to just do some quick fire questions. So, like, one word answers or just like a short sentence. So, barbells or dumbbells?
In a workout or heavy lifting?
Both.
So, I think I like the heavy dumbbell. And I probably like the light dumbbell in a workout as well. compared to heavy barbells and barbell. I think I'll go dumbbells. Cool. Either way.
On your feet or on your hands?
Hands.
Do you ever get bored?
Yeah. In training or?
Yeah. In training.
Maybe 40 minutes of sitting on a rower.
Oh yeah.
Or 40 minutes sitting on the bike. It's a bit boring, yeah. But other than that, I don't tend to get bored.
Do you feel like you've ever come close to burnout?
Yeah.
Yeah, in your training. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need you look at your program. And you're like, nah, I can't do that. Cool. Today, I just know I need to chill out. Yeah. So yeah.
Those two questions are from a guy called Rob. These next two are from a girl called Emily. She wants to know what you find. What's your most challenging movement? Freestanding handstand push-ups.
So we saw my Instagram yesterday. I was getting a little frustrated. My most, think it'll be the Olympic lifting for me. With top end numbers, so like top end snatch and top end clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Like setting personal bests on them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm progressing nicely on like the sort of the less dynamic movements like deadlift, back squat, and presses and stuff. But the top end weights, I think I'm limited by my technique a little bit.
Yeah.
Inconsistent at those personal best weights.
Okay.
But I can hit like 95% any day.
Yeah.
But I just progressing on those. I think that's what I find the most sort of challenging.
Cool.
And the assault bike actually as well. That's probably number one. The assault bike. Yeah.
Cool, man. I adapt this question slightly. Here at CrossFit Wolverhampton, you've got the components of fitness on the wall. If you could choose one, what would it be?
Just one component of fitness to sort of isolate in your training. For
or what your favourite is personally, or what?
I'd go with. Difficult question. It's a difficult
I don't think you've ever been speechless.
It's a difficult question to ask a CrossFitter to just choose one component of fitness. I'm going to go endurance then.
Cool.
No endurance.
Sweet. Well, that leads us sort of nicely onto the questions that we've got here that are sort of more performance related. Again, Paul wants to know, so what's a typical day / week's training, and in terms of like hours?
I haven't actually worked out in terms of hours exactly, but I'll tell you how it sort of goes. So Monday is nutrition day. So I actually recently I've decided to look at my food shopping and my meal prep on a Monday as an actual training session.
Cool.
So if I think of it as a training session to complete, it makes me do it.
Yeah.
So if I don't do it, I'll just end up going to Sainsbury's and just having whatever I fancy around the shop. So I'll actually think of it as a training session. So Monday I'll food prep sort of morning time, then it's a single day for training.
Cool. Tuesday's
a double day. My friend Tom comes over to train with me from Telford way.
Yeah.
That'll be sort of cardio sort of based in the morning, then there'll be some heavy lifting and some CrossFit in the afternoon session. Yep. This is my current training program running up to regionals this year. Then Wednesday has been an active recovery day today, so I just went mountain biking for an hour. Tomorrow's a double day, where what have I got tomorrow? I've definitely got some heavy lifting at some point, and definitely some CrossFit style workouts tomorrow to do. Yeah. And then Friday is going to be a double day, Saturday is going to be a double day, and Sunday is my day to go fishing as my rest day.
Yeah, man. Cool.
That's it.
So obviously you follow online programming at the moment, don't you?
Yeah.
But do you program your own accessory work to work on your weaknesses specifically?
So the JST programs, C4-sit programs for me from JST. Sometimes I'll change bits and bobs depending on how I'm feeling, or if I think, I fancy working on that for this bit. Yeah. But the stimulus or the purpose of the workout I don't actually change. So yesterday it was some 5-minute bike work. Yeah. I decided to just change that into two sections of 230 arms only bike and then 230 legs only bike. Cool. Just changed it a little bit just because I fancied doing my arms on its own and then my legs on their own on the bike. Yeah. I haven't really changed the stimulus too much, but I've just adjusted it just because something I fancied doing for me. Yeah. So I'm not,
Makes sense. Cool. Callum Jones, who I think you know, asks, what did you change this year compared with last? And what impact has it had surrounding yourself with sort of high-level athletes such as Kristen Thomas, the Olympian?
Yeah. Well, training with Christian or training with Sonny or any sort of high-level athlete makes you want to just show how you can train, show them that you can work hard like they've worked hard. I think the main thing I've changed every year, like you sort of get more experience and understand what you need to be doing. I think it's difficult to come straight into it and say, right, I want to get to regionals. This is my first year actively trying to pursue that and get everything right in terms of your discipline and your training structure and your nutrition, all that sort of stuff. I think I've just got a little bit more professional with my with my approach to my training and nutrition and rest and all that sort of stuff. There is sort of one sort of thing I've noticed a massive difference in is active recovery work, and this is sort of like I feel like it's the secret sauce to how I've done so well in the Open this year.
Yeah.
It's so let's say if you do 12 sets of 500 meter row, for example, 2 minutes rest between each one. You're rowing at a 140 split for each 500, which is quite a tough 500 meter pace.
Yeah.
2 minutes recovery. Choose an exercise. Could be PVC pipe deadlift. Literally PVC pipe was that light, and just try and hit 25 to 30 reps just slowly in that 2 minute window.
Yeah.
That how light the weight is and how slow you're moving should recover you at the same pace, as if you were just sitting on your arse waiting for the 2 minutes to come up, thinking of tipping on your water. The idea behind it is, I've done a 140 row, 140 500 meter row. Yeah. Okay, it's painful. I'm out of breath. There's lactic gone through to my legs. So if I'm going through a contraction on a very, very basic movement with a PVC pipe, my hamstring, my glutes, my back, all the muscles using the deadlift are contracting still, and they're dealing with the lactic acid that I've just pumped into my, gone into my body. So it teaches them to handle that lactic acid. So when I do a workout, 1K row, 50 deadlifts, okay, my deadlift muscles have got experience of dealing with the lactic acid after
the row.
So going from one exercise to the next, the blood that's in my leg that's full of lactic is now going to my hamstrings and my back and my glutes, and I've trained my body to sort of deal with that stimulus.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's what's made the biggest difference to my training in terms of what I've adjusted myself into things.
Secret sauce, man.
It's a little bit of a secret sauce, but the thing is, when you do it, you think, oh, this isn't going to do anything. It's not even hard.
Yeah.
But just do it, and you'll see.
Cool. Cool. So speaking about regionals, obviously you've been there a few times, and
Five.
What's the atmosphere like backstage?
Depends who you're hanging around with.
Yeah.
Some arrogant fuckers behind there. Won't give any names. There's some really cool people. There's some nice guys. I mean, yeah.
Do you find you stick with the people from your country?
I like to hold hands with Alec Harwood. He's my fave. The atmosphere is. It's almost relaxed a little bit, and then it gets a little bit intense when it's like game time. Like especially when you're up next, and you've just warmed up. You sort of, the person who's in your lane next to you is warming up, and then you get called, and then you get called like 15, 20 minutes before you're even gonna do anything. Yeah. And you're just standing there. Yeah. You're literally standing there, and it's like you're a sheep ready to go to the slaughter, and you've got these holding pens, and you sit there. Someone takes your name, you're like, oh shit, I need a wee now. I need to get to the loo. Oh, I forgot my water. Oh, I didn't chalk my hands up, or I haven't got my belt. Yeah. I haven't got this T-shirt I'm supposed to wear for that sponsor, and you all these things are going over your head, and you're just sitting there 50 minutes, the longest 10, 15 minutes ever. Yeah. Then you walk out onto the floor. Yeah. Literally, hardly anyone says a thing, and it's just so tense. Yeah. Then after, it's quite cool when you finish the workout, you high five everyone, and you walk off and get in the ice bath and that.
Because some of the workouts are quite short, aren't they? And you've got like a decent amount of time between each, like not only just the heats, but like the events on the regionals days. Yeah. Do you find like do you train around it?
No, it's not. Cool, you don't train in between. No, you chill out. You'll do a little bit of a cool down, maybe have an ice bath. Yeah. If you know the exact time, you do know the exact time before you compete again on that day. So you get what food you think's appropriate to get in to make sure it's not sitting in your stomach or heavy. Cool. Yeah, that's it.
Sweet. Okay, so I don't know if this is one you'll be able to answer. This is from Joanna, and she wants to know what your sort of top 3 habits are that have gotten you to where you are as an athlete. Obviously, you've talked a little bit about your nutrition, how you've changed your mindset on that, and the active recovery. But is there anything that you've been doing longer term than that?
Top 3 habits. Yeah. Habits. So habits are like stuff that you do like almost unconsciously. Yeah. Do you
make your bed?
No. Very rare. Sometimes. So, habit. What habits do I have that are positive? I can think of lots of bad habits. I think positive self-talk is a good habit of mine. Like I'll always have a habit of talking about things that are positive.
Cool.
Whether I've had a bad training day or whatever, I'll just look at the positives of that.
Yeah.
And not focus on the negatives so much. And that's sort of a habit that gets me through, because every time you train, it always knocks you to the ground, almost humbles you a lot of the time. Especially working on those weaknesses, you sort of like, you know what the other guys can do on that, and you know what you've just done, and you know sometimes you know it's nowhere near.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at the positives.
Cool.
I think the main thing I say to myself is, if it was hard, it's made me better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they can do. It's hard, it's made me better. That's all I need to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of my best habits that I've got towards my training. Another habit.
Don't worry if you don't have like.
I probably do. I just need to think about it. Two more habits. What other habits?
What's in your shakes?
In my shakes?
Because you have those every day. They're a habit, aren't they?
Yeah. So I've just started on taking on these smoothies, and in between training sessions, sort of have my post-workout shake from Icon, which is 40 grams of simple carbs, 20 grams of sugar. Then I'll have a meal, which could be something simple, rice, chicken, veg, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll have this smoothie. It's got pineapple, mango, banana, spinach, whey protein, hazelnuts. Sometimes I add a little bit of like the green powder stuff.
Nice.
Into it. But it's got like, it's all the sort of sugars in that. Really, I feel like it really replenishes me, and it also puts me in a good mood as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Something to do with serotonin from a nutrition chap I was dealing with before. But I find that's helped massively. That's helped a massive amount with my sort of nutrition and training. So every day I'll have at least one smoothie made like that. Yeah. They're banging. They're really good. Really nice as well. Good.
Cool, man.
It's sweet.
I think we'll wrap it up there, but thank you for your time, and like good luck with.
Thank you.
Well.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Sorted. Sweet.
Okay, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to Mitch then. It was awesome being able to sit down and interview him and ask him some questions. I certainly learnt a lot from Mitch, and it would be nice to hopefully be able to do a second part to that interview, maybe after he's competed in May. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about CrossFit and Mitch's perspective on CrossFit. This is sort of going to conclude the short little series that started off with my open experience and has sort of concluded with this little interview with Mitch. Big thank you to Mitch as well. Without a doubt, super talented guy, really down to earth, nice to speak to. We at the bar are really excited for him and wish him the best of luck with his season, especially sort of going into the Open in May. It's not the Open, the regionals, my bad. You can follow Mitch on Instagram and stay up to date with his life, training, nutrition, competitions and whatnot. You can find him at Mitch_Adams, SZ at the end of Adams. And that sort of concludes today's episode, team. You can, of course, send your questions to us through Instagram at ATBpod. Or you can email us anytime to the atbpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your questions and we will try our best to get them answered in the future. Thanks ever so much for listening. If you like this show, if you could do us a favour, if you're listening on iTunes, give us a review and a subscription. Also, if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. It all helps just sort of spread our word, and it's ultimately going to mean that we can get better quality content out to you guys, bigger guests, although I'm sure you will agree it probably isn't going to get too much bigger than Mitch Adams. So thanks again to Mitch, and enjoy the rest of your week, team.